Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing well. In this video I'm going to be talking about the recent transit of Mercury going into the sign of Libra. Mercury went into Libra on October 4th and it'll stay in the sign until October 22nd. So here's what you need to know to navigate this transit. I'll be going over some positive and negative aspects, and I also pulled two cards to help further the guidance of this transit. So Mercury, the planet of communication, travel, the intellect, the mind, and technology, going into the sign of Libra, which is all about relationships, balance, justice, aesthetics, and people-pleasing / codependency. So what does this mean for us? I think one of the first things that we can talk about is relationships and how we can reflect on them using our mind. So our relationships with others, our relationship with ourselves, and our relationship even with technology. So this is a good time to think about your relationships in your life, all of them, all different kinds, whether it's family, friends, anything to do with relationships, even yourself. So you could reflect on where you've been being too giving in relationships, or where you haven't been receiving enough in your relationships. So it's a good time to kind of think of that and be honest and see where you're at in your relationships, and just evaluate your relationships and which ones are worth keeping and which ones are not worth keeping. And also, like, is there a balance there? Do you feel like you can be yourself in those relationships? Are you getting anything out of those relationships? All things to consider. Maybe during this time, this will also be a revealing time for you of which people you should or should not keep in your life. This is also a good time to reflect on the relationship you have with yourself. Are you in balance? Are you giving yourself the things you need? Are you doing your self-care? Are you being on top of that? It's a good time to reflect on that. Have you been giving too much to others? Have you not been giving enough to yourself? So maybe this time is a good time to reflect on that and see where you can fine-tune that balance. And even our relationship with technology, since Mercury is associated with technology, you could say, do you have a balance with technology? Are you using it too much? Are you spending most of your time there? Are you not balancing out with other things? Technology can easily consume your life if you're not careful with it. It could just be a life full of screens, and that could easily just you could spend most of your day just using technology, and without some reflection or awareness, it could not be so great for the balance you have in your life. So key thing here is balance. So balance with all relationships. So some things to consider. This is a good time to deepen your connections with others through communication. So you can talk things out with other people. Maybe you can resolve some things that have been lingering in your relationship in the background. I think with Mercury and Libra, this would be a good time to balance those scales. Talk about things that maybe you haven't before. Like I said, if you've been overgiving or haven't receiving enough, this is a good time to communicate that with others and tell them how you truly feel. It's also a great time, Libra being very aesthetic, I find during this time nature can be quite aesthetically beautiful. So like for example, in North America, all the leaves are changing, and it's quite nice to see. And so I think this would be a good time to go out and visit some really nice places. For example, even going for a hike. I think nature, or that will be supported during this time to be extra beautiful. So if you're planning on visiting somewhere that beautiful, or be probably a good time to go there at this time, a last minute trip if you're thinking about it. Or you could even visualize that dream trip that you want to go to, those beautiful places. You can visualize that, put it on your vision board, help to manifest that into reality. So maybe try thinking of all those beautiful places you'd like to visit at some point in time. So this is also a focus on how you can beautify your environment, your wardrobe, yourself. Maybe get a new haircut, maybe try something different in your in your routine. How you can make your home more beautiful, This is a good time to think about how you can create more beauty in your life and in your environment. So this energy will definitely support that, give you some new ideas that can help you do that. I think this is also a great time to do some art, create some art. I think maybe you'll be able to create some extra beautiful art, whether it's writing or painting or drawing or anything, me playing music. And since Libra is about relationships, maybe this is a good time to also create art with other people, maybe collaborate with other people if you're an artist, and maybe make some beautiful art together. Or if that just means doing it by yourself, that's fine too. But I think that's extra supported right now to be able to channel some beautiful art into the physical reality. So some of the shadow aspects is where you have been people-pleasing with others or being codependent. So being codependent means that you are sacrificing or hindering something by relying on someone else to do something for you. So that could easily make you out of balance, and that could actually prevent you from growing if you're constantly relying on someone else to do something for you, where you could actually be doing that yourself, or that's when you hinder, like when two people are codependent on each other, you're hindering each other's growth by relying on each other to do things that you could probably do yourself, or you're preventing yourself from growing by allowing the other person to do those things for you. So it's a good time to reflect on that and see where you can become more independent, or like do some stuff yourself and get that growth in. Yeah, shopping may also be on your mind. Libra is associated with shopping, and beautify your environment, but don't spend your money where you don't need to, and don't buy things you actually don't need. But make it count within your budget, and try and beautify your environment, yourself, within reason. And this is a good time to reflect on if you can truly be yourself in relationships. Libra can kind of morph themselves into someone else to be in a relationship with them, whether it be that a friend or a romantic relationship or anything. So this is a good time to reflect in if you're putting on a mask just to fit in, if you're kind of losing yourself by being friends with someone else, if you're not really being yourself with other people. So, I mean, if you can't be yourself with other people, that's not good, really. It's kind of like you're being false to yourself, and that's preventing you from meeting people who are actually like you. And when you be yourself, when you be your true authentic self, you attract the same vibration. So if you're morphing into something else just to fit in, that's never good. I think we've all been there. But you can kind of just reflect on that and see, have you been doing that? Are you putting on a false identity to be with others, to have a relationship with others? So something to think about also during this time. So I pulled two cards for this transit, and I think it reflects just about what I said. So the first one is this card here. This is the Lost Lands card. So it says, soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. So this is a very beautiful card, I find. It's very aesthetically pleasing. There's lots of really nice things going on here. Interesting that it says Lost Lands. I mean, I think that can translate into just visiting beautiful places or aesthetically beautiful places. Could even be visiting art museums. You kind of have like some beautiful structures, waterfalls, just really nice places. So if you're thinking about visiting somewhere very beautiful, this is a great time to do that. Maybe visiting an art museum, going to a place that has very nice architecture, stuff like that. Great time to do that. Very supported in this energy. And if you're doing some art, maybe you want to try something new. Maybe you want to start playing an instrument. Maybe you want to try a new, different artistic medium. Maybe you can tap into some artistic ability that you didn't know you had. But the only way to do that is by trying. So if you're thinking about doing something like that, you know, you never know what you'll be good at until you try, you know. So, and you know, I think this is a good time to also just like channel your energy into art. So great time to do that. Yeah, so you never know, maybe you're a great painter and we just never tried or a great musician or anything. So good time to try that. Libra is a cardinal sign, so take the initiative and try something artistic. You'll never know where you go. So, or plan a trip or visualize a trip going to one of those beautiful places. Maybe you want to go to Egypt, Greece, one of those ancient lands. You know, start thinking about it, and those thoughts eventually turn into reality. So I think this is what this card is trying to tell us. So, and then we have this card here, which is called You Got the Love. Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. So I find this card pretty interesting because there's like one face, but then there's like faces everywhere. So it's almost like, are you getting what I just talked about before? You know, are you putting on masks to have relationships with other people? Are you not being your true self in your relationships? Are you hiding yourself just to fit in? So I would not recommend doing this, because that's, you know, you're almost like lying to yourself, and you can't be your authentic self, which kind of just like hurts deep down, you know, if you can't be your true self with other people. And living authentically, being yourself actually attracts the right people and the people who will match your energy. And in turn, the people who do not match your energy will dissolve and they won't be in your life anymore. And that's just like, that's good for everyone. They can attract someone who's actually on their vibe, and you can attract anyone who's on your vibe. So yeah, and this is also going back to the codependency, people-pleasing kind of aspect of Libra. So just reflect on, if your relationships are codependent, are you hindering your growth by being in a relationship? Are you actually hindering both people's growth by being in a relationship with someone? Are you relying on someone to do something for you that's preventing growth of your own, you know? You could even say that about like work, you know, maybe you really want to do something on your own, but your work is kind of keeping you codependent, like, you know, you're relying on that work instead of trying to do something on your own, something like that. Just codependency. Also people pleasing. Are you giving too much in relationships and not getting anything back in return? Do you find yourself doing this a lot? That's a good shadow work kind of prompt that you can reflect on. Being people pleasing is generally not great. Like you're pretty much just getting the short end of the stick in your relationships. So try taking back your power, and having strong boundaries. You know, it's okay to give, but not overgive, and not give like too much to the point of where you're not getting anything in reciprocal. You're not getting any reciprocal energy. So reflect on your boundaries. Boundaries are self-love. Boundaries are very important for your energy, to keep your energy strong, and to also maintain healthy relationships. And the right people will respect your boundaries, and the wrong people won't. And that should tell you a lot. So yeah, and again, just are you putting on a mask? Are you losing your sense of self with other people when you're around other people, your friends, your family? So maybe don't spend too much time around people where you can't be your authentic self. It kind of just hurts to have to do that all the time. And there are people who will match your vibe, and you will attract them by living authentically. So there you go. Those are the two cards I got. So I hope that helps. I am having a sale this month. So if you'd like to book a reading with me, all my readings and even Reiki sessions are 22% off now till the end of the month. So if you're interested in finding out more about your personal situation, just direct message me, and we'll discuss that. All right. So I hope this helps, and have a good rest of the day. Take care. Bye.